Here comes the STM Showboat. It's time for STM Showboat, a boatload of magical fun, crafts, and special surprises, featuring the incredibly creative, crafty lady, the Tacky family with that old scoundrel sea pirate Captain Tacky, the flower of the animal world, Susanna Q. Skunk, and now, steaming into port, here is your host, Magical George the Magician.
We've got a special guest.
We have a special guest in the park this morning. I want everybody to pay attention because we're going to talk about trains.
Oh,
Now,
I love
you may
trains.
think we're talking about little model trains, but we're talking about real, honest-to-goodness trains, the big ones.
Oh, I love riding on a train.
So right now, we're going to go over and talk to our special guest.
Okay.
Okay, Sue?
Yep.
And then I'll be back to talk to you.
Oh, okay.
B.J. Fowler, how are you this morning?
Just fine. How are you?
Right with us this morning is B.J. Fowler, and you are, what is your position with Conrail?
I'm the terminal superintendent for Consolidated Rail Corporation here in Syracuse, and I'm here this morning on behalf of Operation Lifesaver, to talk to the boys and girls about rail safety.
Great, because
and education around the railroad.
Now, there are many accidents that happen around railroad crossings and just regular, I don't know what you call the road beds that they have running, the rails.
Yeah. Hundreds of boys and girls every year are hurt either traumatically or killed even with parents for non-education of in and around railroad property. And we're just here to kind of educate the boys and girls a little bit this morning about the do's and don'ts around the rail property.
Good. Now, listen closely, boys and girls, because now we're going to hear some of the things we should not do around any railroad tracks or railroad crossing, or in railroad yards if you happen to live near one. So, BJ, what's this right here?
We have some charts here this morning that will be able to show boys and girls the things that you don't want to do. It may look very inappropriate to put a coin, a pop bottle, or maybe even a rail spike on a railroad to smash them out and take them home as souvenirs. But that's not really a very good idea, because when the train hits it, it's like a firecracker going off, and it explodes way out, and it could come out and propel and hit anybody.
You mean, like, say this spike, if that big wheel from the engine hits it, it could shoot it out?
It'd shoot it out just like a pistol or a gun. And other things, if the items were even bigger, it could even derail and wreck the train.
Ooh, do you hear that, boys and girls? Do you hear that? Now, that's a very dangerous thing. So, don't put things on the track. The whole thing you're saying is don't put anything
things on the track.
On the track. Okay, let's see what's over here. This is kind of exciting, BJ. I like this. Ooh, here we go. Here's the engine. What do we hit? Oh, look at this.
This is throwing things at the train. If you would throw things at the train, they come flying back at you twice as fast as what they would. It might hit you right in the head, and you might be knocked down and even hurt seriously. Mm-hmm. Or someone on the train could be hurt seriously.
Now, this man's doing his job. The guy
he's working as the engineer. That's part of his work, and the boys and girls are out having fun. It would be like in the summertime, you're out raking leaves with your parents and having fun, and your neighbor was across the street, and you just wouldn't go up and start throwing rocks at him, would you?
No, you wouldn't, would you? You
well,
wouldn't do that.
He's out doing his job just like the engineers and the conductors are doing their job. It's their regular work to do, and they don't want to see that the boys and girls get hurt, and they certainly don't get hurt while they're on the job.
That's like right now, we're doing a job here, but we wouldn't want the boys and girls to throw anything at us while we're doing it.
That's right.
Very good. Good point. That's another point for safety. Operation Lifesaver. This is great. And here's the boxcars.
This is a picture of the boxcar with the car door open, and it's very, very dangerous to get inside the boxcar. Sudden movements of the train, you might not be able to see the engine way down the road, and any sudden movement, the boxcar door could shut, and the boys and girls could be trapped inside and maybe never found.
That's right. And you could be entrapped in there for days, maybe even weeks, if that boxcar isn't going to be used again for a while.
And other things, they could fall out if the sudden movement and fall under the wheels and maybe get hurt real seriously.
Real bad. So stay away from the open doors on those boxcars. Just stay away from the trains altogether.
And you never want to try and climb through with that sudden movement or anything, or try and climb under, just because it looks like it's a shortcut, always go around. You always want to go around. It's never a shortcut to climb through or climb under. If the train is there, go around it or wait till it leaves.
Because you never know when it's going to start up, right?
That's right.
You just never know. There's no way you're going to know.
Trains come any time in any direction.
Right.
Oh, here's the picture of a big bridge over a big river. And as you see, there isn't any sidewalks on the bridge. There's no place. If the boys and girls would walk out onto the bridge, there's no sidewalk for them for any place to go. So you have one of two options. You either get hit by the train, or you got to jump in the river.
Ooh, and you don't want to do either one of those.
And you don't want to do any of that.
Either one of those. You don't want to do either one. And the light at the end of the tunnel.
That's the light at the end of the tunnel. And this is a little boy riding his bicycle. And there is no place to jump. There's no place to go. If you get in a tunnel and a train comes...
Just enough room for the train.
There's no place else to go. And here you don't want to stand too close, because there might be something that could fall off the train, or dust and everything flies from the train as it's coming by. And, you know, as the wind comes by, it could suck boys and girls in. If you're too small, the air pressure just pull you right into the train.
I think sometimes boys and girls don't realize how huge a train is up close when it comes flying by. And when you say that sudden draft, a small child can be pulled right in there. So you don't want to get close.
It could be very, very easy.
Yeah. This is interesting. This is really interesting. Now, this here is something I think everybody has seen at one time or another. If you've ever been out riding in your car or with your parents or on a bicycle, I'm sure some of you bike across railroad tracks in parts of this county we live in or state we live in. So what would you have to say about this, BJ?
These are symbols. It's like the clock on the wall tells you the time of day. Mm-hmm. These are symbols to tell you things. This is the sign that tells you that there's a railroad crossing near, and it's on the pavement also. And this is a crossbuck to tell you that there is railroad tracks there. So, and that when you come upon them, you must stop, look, and listen.
So these are the things you watch for. When you see those in the tracks, it's a railroad crossing. Be very, very cautious before going across. And here's something, ding, 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 and the lights flashing. You've seen I know you've seen these.
These are the flashing lights and the gates that has the bells. But something important here, George, is that this tells you that there's 2 tracks, and this tells you that there's 3 tracks. So that means if a train is going in one direction, there may be a train coming from the other direction at the same time. And you've got to be very, very careful. Just because the train went by does not mean that all the trains are clear.
If there's 2 tracks or 3 tracks, one train might go by, you might say, hey, that's great, start to walk across or drive across or ride on your bike, and a train comes from the other direction.
Most of the accidents across the United States happen in multiple track territory, which this is multiple track.
More than one track.
Where one train goes by and get hit by a train from another direction.
And of course, on a school bus, BJ, boys and girls are instructed by their bus drivers, and they have drills about safety. So in this situation, would they kind of follow what the bus driver says?
This would be just like doing a fire drill at school. They follow the direction of the school bus driver. When the school bus pulls up to the railroad, he turns, he opens the door, and he stops, he looks, and he listens. And if anything needed to be done, the school bus driver would tell the little boys and girls how to exit the school bus safely.
Great. Super. I hope you're remembering all these things. It's kind of this is fun to look at, but it's got a good message, okay.
This is something to do if your car or your bus or whatever you're riding in would happen to stall on the track. What you want to do is get out of your car immediately. And don't take anything with you.
And run. Get out of the way.
And get out of the way.
Out of the way.
Run out of the way, because if the train would hit you, it would splatter and everything would go all over.
Be all over that.
You could be really hurt very, very seriously.
B.J. Fowler, I just can't thank you enough, because I think we have to kind of really look at this Operation Lifesaver with the railroads, because we have to start thinking about safety around railroad tracks. I've read in the last year of people being injured in Syracuse in this area on railroad tracks, and it happens all over the country. All the boys and girls that are here this morning are going to get a coloring book, compliments of Conrail, New York State Operation Lifesaver, a coloring book. Not only is it fun to color, but you look inside and get all kinds of safety tips on being safe around a railroad. BJ, thanks a million.
Thank you
will you
very
come back
much for
again
being
sometime?
here. I sure will,
Okay,
and I
come back
appreciate
again.
you, the boys and girls' attention on a little bit of rail safety.
Okay, thank you very much. Sue?